I'm Gloria S, Crump, the Queen of Real Estate here at Coastal Leaders Realty Group. Thank you for joining this week's Tea Crumpets. And today we have Alan Reynolds. He is a sales rep for Wayne's Pest Control. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So tell us a little bit of background about yourself and Wayne's.
Yeah. So I've as you know, I previously worked with a home inspection company.
Yes, and he has been on here.
It had been on here.
He's a repeat offender of Tea Crumpets.
And it's a great place to be, a great opportunity. Learned a lot, and Wayne's just was an opportunity that kind of opened up, and it was a good fit for me and my family, and kind of gave us some new opportunities.
That's awesome.
To get some things
Congratulations.
done. So it's been great.
Yeah. And so Wayne's has actually been around for quite some time. You're telling me for 50 years, actually.
Yeah, a little over 50 years, yeah.
That's a long time to be in business. And he started in Birmingham, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so tell us it's a neat little story about how it all started.
So the original owner of the company, his name was Wayne.
Yeah.
He had a Datsun pickup truck that was a dark yellow. And he went to a school cafeteria that he knew had cockroach issues and said, hey, I'm gonna help you get rid of this. If I can't get rid of it, you don't have to pay me.
Yeah.
And so he got rid of them, and they paid him. And the next customer was the entire Birmingham Jefferson school district.
Wow.
And it kind of grew from there.
And it grew rapidly.
It did. So he kept buying those little yellow Datsun pickup trucks. That's kind of why we have the yellow trucks. I
love the fact that y'all kept something from, even for 50 years, it's just like a trademark of his. Right. So I think that's awesome. That just kind of shows just the history of it. So it's a neat background. I did not know that because I'm familiar with Wayne's obviously through real estate and D.R. Horton used them through for their new construction homes, and so that's how I got to be familiar with Wayne's and such. And Wayne's doesn't just do the termite contracts. Y'all actually handle a lot of things. I mean, y'all handle, obviously pest control. The termite warranties, but there's a couple other things that y'all do.
Yeah, so I usually tell people, excuse me, when I meet with them, that as a pest control company, we help get all the pests out of your house, except your husband. So the only thing we can't help
children.
But so we do offer the termite prevention and coverage through the warranty, and then we also offer year-round pest control and prevention. We offer mosquito control. We do a lawn spray.
Which is huge for a lot of places down here.
Especially down here,
Yeah, especially near water or just really because of just our environment. And then y'all also do, not lawn care as in mowing grass, but tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we don't do any mowing in the hedges, that kind of thing, but we do a spray. We're supposed to be adding tree and shrub spray soon, but we spray yards with a pre and post emergent herbicide, an insecticide, and a fertilizer, so that we get rid of the things you don't want in your yard, help that yard get nice and luscious and green.
And when is the best time to actually start that process? Obviously you don't want to spray when it's about to rain, so later in April and such. It's constantly raining. So when is the best time to start that?
So really before spring, before the grass starts growing, so that we can get that pre-emergent in before the weeds.
Kind of like February, March, somewhere around that. Oh, that's coming up too. So, and then also y'all do wildlife removal.
We do.
Okay. And then there was another thing that you said that before we started the video, that with that wildlife removal, y'all even have something called Smart Pest.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So Smart Pest is kind of another side of our pest control. So with our pest control, if you have, say, mice or something, we'll put out traps and get rid of them.
And you'll come back to get them?
We'll come back to get them. I've got a great video of me getting rid of one down in Orange Beach.
Well, maybe we can add that to the video.
But with the Smart Pest, what we have is a system where we put motion sensors in the kind of vulnerable places, like an attic, a garage, a closet, wherever they find them. And what we want to see is that our efforts are reducing the activity we see throughout the day.
Gotcha.
So that if we're seeing a lot of activity 2, 3, 4 in the morning in the garage, I'm assuming nobody's out there getting Christmas decorations out.
Yeah,
so we want to see
no one's sneaking in from going out late or anything of that nature.
And if we see increased activity on them, then we know we need to get back out there and take some traps for those people.
Okay.
One of the things we do with pest control is we want to guarantee that you don't have all that in your house. So we're not just trying to deal with quarterly treatments or what have you, but make sure you're around your house is free of pests.
No, I think that's great. I definitely do, because obviously I've had squirrels in my attic before, and so that was interesting. One knocked over a box in the middle of the night, and I thought somebody had broken in. I called the police, and it was definitely one of those. It could have been a commercial. It was pretty funny. So when the cops showed up, and they were like, "Nobody's here," I was like, "I swore I heard something." Ended up being a squirrel, so
they'll make a big mess in your attic or whatever.
Oh, and they can chew wires, and thankfully it didn't do that. I just thought it was a burglar coming into my home, so it scared me to death. But hey, I mean, it was a funny story later.
Later,
it was pretty funny. And so the areas that you service, I mean, obviously it's Baldwin County here, but you also service other areas as a sales rep. So
right.
it's the coastal market, correct? And it's down Biloxi, you said, through.
Yeah, so we have a Mobile office that goes all the way over into Biloxi, and
Gotcha.
an office here in Daphne that goes all the way over to Fort Walton Beach.
Okay, that's awesome. And so, and then obviously Wayne's covers Alabama, Florida.
Right.
You said Mississippi, Tennessee, which is actually great because some people in those states obviously own homes here too,
right.
so they can service both properties in those states. So that's great. And then tell us a little bit about termite warranties, because we'll sell properties and we'll tell how important it is to keep your termite warranty on that property. And the next thing you know, when we go to sell it, they let it lapse. And they're like, oh, I just felt like it wasn't necessary.
Right.
And we're like, oh my gosh, this is like so important.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your termite warranties and just why it's so important to keep that
so it's
in place.
Obviously anybody would expect me to say it's important because the company wants
Yeah, but
to get
I'm
paid.
vouching.
But I had a guy here in Gulf Shores that had us for many years, and about 9 or 10 years ago, he just stopped paying the bill. And went several years without any kind of coverage. Well, now he's got termites in an interior wall, so there's no telling where all they are. Well, by the time we kill them, he replaces the wall they've damaged, etc. We're probably talking 25, 30 grand worth of work. So that $350-ish bill a year would have been nothing. Over 10 years would have been nothing compared to what he's going to pay now.
Yeah, and especially if they do have a repair bond,
right.
Repair warranty on that property. There is y'all have $1 million.
Correct. Wayne's offers $1 million.
Yes, and I think that's great because sometimes we see just 250,000. So I think that's amazing that y'all do $1 million. And so if they have, and then obviously there's the retreatment.
Correct.
And then so there's 2 different types of warranties:
right.
repair and or retreat.
Right.
So
repair is what most everybody thinks of when they think of the termite bond or the termite warranty.
But you have to read the fine print.
Right. And
because there's red flags.
Yeah, Wayne's offers both repair and retreat, whereas some companies now are just doing a retreat.
Yeah.
And some companies only offer repair. If they don't qualify for that, they just walk away altogether. So we do offer both options there, depending on what the house qualifies for.
Yeah, because there are red flags
Correct.
that when you go to inspect the home, it might not qualify for a repair, just the retreat.
Right.
And so, what are some of those red flags that you see when you inspect some homes that you're just like, we're not able to do the repair, but we can do retreat, or you might have to walk away.
Right.
So, what are those red flags?
So yeah, we call them conducive conditions.
Okay.
Things are conducive to termite activity. So it's not necessarily that there is termite activity, but it's a concern. So some of the most common ones I see are people that put like a wood deck on the back on the grade, so that it's in the dirt and you can't see under it. So that creates 2 problems. You're putting wood in the dirt, and now we can't inspect it to see if there's any activity. Another very common thing is people that have very mature, large vegetation up against the house.
Oh yes.
For us, we want to be able to get behind it. If you think it's large vegetation, you got roots going under the house. Well, what is that, in sight? And then you've got potential for branches against the house. Well, now you have pest access to the house. So all sorts of issues there. We want to be able to get in between the bushes in the house. Wheat poles getting covered up. Again, you wouldn't see anything coming into the house in that way. Any type of water damaged wood. So that's why when we inspect, if you ever notice, we're just have a flashlight and we're checking baseboards and stuff. Those are the places where we see that kind of water damage the quickest. So those are some common ones. That's not all of them. Foam is a big question people ask.
Yes.
That typically, when we see that, we drop from a repair to a retreat almost immediately.
I gotcha.
With most of those kind of cases. Foam's a big concern, which stinks because it's such a good product for what it does, but it creates other issues.
But there's 2 different types of foam: the closed cell, the open cell, and if it's covering the joist and things of that nature. So there's a lot to it, but it does. I do know that's a red flag when someone's like, "Well, it has spray foam insulation." It's like, oh goodness,
Right.
Yeah, so it does make a difference. And so there's 2 different types of termites: the Formosan, the subterranean. Formosan's the worst.
Yeah, correct.
Yes, so it is important, and y'all do the Sentricons.
We do
the bait system. So that's what I figured. And I do think that I don't hear a lot of people doing the treatment of the soil as much anymore. It just seems to be the bait system. So, and then what time of the year do you see termites like most active? that's more prevalent?
Yeah, so like all of our tourists, they like the warm, that warm weather.
Yeah.
But we see them even when it's been cold. This winter, as cold as it gets here.
Yeah.
We see active termites in this cold weather as well. But typically, like swarm season, for instance, that happens when that last kind of push into summer starts, and that weather finally warms up, gets humid. They go out looking for somewhere to start a colony. So,
and they really like dead palms too.
Yeah.
So my neighbor had a dead palm one time, and I mean they were swarming around. So they probably killed it. But so let me see. There were some other little things that I wanted to bring up. So on the Smart Pest. Y'all put cameras out, like motion sensors,
sensors.
So does that motion sensor, does it automatically alert your company? Is that how it works, or
so it's being monitored in our office? So
okay.
I think we have some 1,000+ active smart sensors in Baldwin County right now. So it's monitoring those, and when we see a certain threshold, we know to go back and add some traps. Or if we see that threshold, the number's dropping, number of hits dropping, then we know that our services are working.
Okay, well that's really neat. I didn't know that was the case. That how y'all kind of monitored that and such. And so and wood infestation reports are what y'all considered inspections. And so someone, if they wanted to have Wayne's come out to see if their house would qualify, y'all go out there and do a wood infestation report. And we have to do those obviously when we're under contract for properties, and we even would still do those a lot of times for condos. We always recommend it because I've heard a couple of stories down here over the 22 years of selling that it's very important, just because our area is just, with the moisture in the air and with the humidity, but just our environment, it just breeds them. So it's so important for people to have termite warranties and such. Yeah. I'm a huge believer in it, just because I've seen the damage they can cause in a very short amount of time.
I think I was telling you before we started,
it's pretty bad.
There was a house that had 5 walls with termites and four bookshelves, and I think that's $100,000 worth of work on a house that's probably worth $250,000. Where are these guys going to go get this? So
and your normal insurance, I mean, I don't think it covers it. I mean, I've never had anybody tell me, "Oh yes, my homeowner's insurance covers this." I don't know about that, but I do know that that's why you need to have a termite contract on your.
I'm not going to say homeowners would never cover it. But I'm not familiar with any offhand.
I have never heard of it. I'm not saying it's not the case. Maybe we'll have an insurance person on here. We can ask that. But I've never heard the people that have had damage that did not have a termite warranty, that they were unsuccessful, I guess, with their particular insurance company. So that's why it's so important to have additional coverage with the termite company that's actually reputable, with the high, limit for their insurance and such. But yeah, I think it's very important, and I appreciate you coming and taking time to tell us about it and tell us about what all Wayne's does, because I just, obviously I knew they did Pest and I knew they did termite, but I didn't realize that y'all had all these other options that people can actually work with you on. So that's great. Well, good deal. Was there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's good.
Awesome. Well, we're going to have his contact information, and that way you can give him a call and have him go check it out. So thank you.
Thank you.